Our first story looks at some initiatives on campus, which were showcased during the recent Greenbuild conference, the first time the conference has been held in Arizona. This Northern Arizona University reception at Greenbuild brought together many leaders in the green industry. The world's largest green building conference and expo spanned 3 days. NAU had several roles, sharing successes in building practices and incorporating climate change and sustainability in lessons for tomorrow's teachers, because the university educates more teachers than any other institution in Arizona.
And if we get to the teachers and we can teach them about the importance of environmental sustainability, they can educate a generation of new students. So that's why, as an institution, sustainability is one of the chief goals. Whether you're talking about curriculum, talking about research, or you're talking about how we operate as an institution, it's part of our ethic.
Dr. Hager calls climate change the issue of the 21st century. Some conference attendees had the option of taking tours of green buildings in the state. This group traveled from Phoenix to NAU's Flagstaff campus, where they saw LEED certified buildings, including the Applied Research and Development Facility, the first building in the state to be labeled platinum by the Leadership Energy and Environment Design Rating System.
So I know just by being at Greenbuild, many of you have that same passion, that same energy. It's exciting for us to know that we have so many partners in the world.
These guests enjoyed some NAU hospitality and were enthusiastic to learn about sustainability practices at the university, especially because many of these people work in the green industry.
One of the things we've discovered as we have become much more engaged, much more assertive in our role as a university, we continue to make the most interesting connections, and we hope you are part of that group of people from around the world who are all working on this issue, who are all working to improve their world, their environment, and where they're located.
There are numerous green buildings on campus, but this one is a showcase for the university. During this Greenbuild tour, the builders were on hand, as well as the architects, describing how choices made affect the environment.
I think everybody realizes that our resources are finite, and the thrust of green building is to optimize our use of those finite resources so that they will last longer, and eventually we will go into a net zero carbon or better use of our resources so that we'll be actually generating energy rather than taking it out of the system.
This Applied Research and Development building employs materials serving dual purposes.
The biggest one in this building is to minimize finishes, whereby our structural elements like the glulam beams over here, or the columns, or the concrete that's all around us, it's the structure of the building, and it also serves as the finish material. And so you don't keep adding more product to finish out the structure.
These Greenbuild visitors to campus said they learned a lot, including some ideas they plan to bring home to their communities. One attendee said she was especially impressed by Northern Arizona University.
Mostly because it's encouraging to see what universities are doing to promote it just beyond research and actually doing what they're trying to teach and trying to do. And so that's probably the biggest thing. And learning a lot about the water systems and what the whole area is doing for gray water is really encouraging.
And while members of this group say the Greenbuild experience was positive, many of them agree even more action needs to be taken in the future to improve conditions on the planet. One person echoing that idea was one of the more famous people at the event.
So right now, this is it. So we got to try to keep this together and do all we can to restore it, because we have ravaged it. And it's terrible, and I think that it's a shame that industry has had a don't care attitude about it. I got grandbabies and I love them, and I want them to have somewhere to live, and I want them to have grandbabies, you know. So I'm very much an advocate for green and helping to save our planet.
This event is sponsored by the U.S. Green Building Conference. 7 years ago, there were about 4,000 in attendance. This year, about 30,000 people came to the Greenbuild Conference. Along with remaining committed to implementing green building practices, Northern Arizona University is establishing a new School of Earth Sciences and Environmental Sustainability.